All right, so next video we finna react to is Twitch will never unban Adin at this point. You feel me? Everybody already know that Adin Ross ended up having he was one of the first main people having beef with Twitch because they was banning him, trying to control him for no reason. Then he ended up going to the Kick platform, turned Kick up. Adin Ross is literally the only reason people really was going to Kick. You feel me? They had SQC over there. Bruce dropped them off. He got a lot of recruits over there. Norton TV. Now everybody's back on Twitch. Everybody went back home to Pappy. And the only person who can't come back to Twitch is Adin Ross. One of the biggest streamers in the world. One of the first pioneers of this shit. And that's weird, you feel me? I don't know. Somebody made a little video saying why Twitch would never unban Adin. And I just want to see what they talk about at this point. I be wanting to research and follow behind stuff like that, you feel me? Because once we get big on Twitch, once we start doing our thing, once we build our community and shit like that, we got to know what kind of games Twitch is playing so we can avoid that shit. You feel me? So I just be trying to learn from other people's mistakes so we don't go through the same shit. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into this video. After that, we got one more video, then we getting up out of here. You feel me?
Up, bro, these past couple weeks, probably real sad, going through thoughts and moments, but it's like, why? Like, I already have so much, but it's like, sometimes you just focus on what you don't have.
Oh, Adin, instead of sipping on that purple, you should have been streaming on that purple, man. Gotta get back. So the other day was Adin Ross's 2-year anniversary.
It is toxic, but I feel like everybody community toxic, to be honest, bro.
Being banned from the platform.
You got you got to name one community that's not toxic. His community is super toxic. He made it that way. But damn near everybody community toxic, bro. Like, keep it a bean. Nah, this was a different level. I'm taking word for it. Cause I ain't gonna lie, when he was over at Kick, that shit was super toxic. Them boys was tripping on Kick. Until they had to get the rules and regulations. Yeah, that one saying when they got on Kick, they was wilding on Kick. So Twitch probably don't ever want that back over there. Yeah, you got a point.
Platform Twitch, and people thought with Twitch's recent revisions to their terms of service agreement, you know, the TOS, that Adin Ross would see himself unbanned and Twitch would be healed, the internet would be whole, and everybody was sitting there and anticipating. But that didn't happen, so it seems like he's still on Kick for now. And I think that this was months, and when I say months, I mean months in the making. If you've been keeping up with Adin Ross, either through our videos or just on the timeline, you've seen that over the past couple of months, he's been gearing up to get off of Kick, selling half of his stake, dissing the CEO, getting into back and forth with people that work over there, and then to even put an extra nail in the coffin, there's been people that have been on other platforms, you know, friends of his, other people that he's collabed with, that have come out on stream and said that they had some sort of word or some sort of connection to Twitch to say that Adin Ross could get unbanned any day now.
They watched him very close, but what I can tell you is there's been some talking. That's all I'm gonna say, and I think it's coming sooner than everybody thinks it is.
That is very good insight, Adin's cousin Adam.
I don't think Dan Clancy is telling these people the truth.
Adin cousin Adam.
But no matter what's happened, no matter how many friends have called on his behalf, how many times he's talked to Dan Clancy, how many times he's dissed Kick and literally rebuked the chat and the community that he's created, it seems like there's been no real traction. And for now, he sits in limbo, but it's kind of weird because it's not like Twitch hasn't set some sort of standard as to who they're gonna ban, who they're gonna unban, what their terms of service is, but it's gotten recently tricky with streamer Hassan. So Hassan got banned and then he got unbanned. Twitch has reversed its ban on Hassan Piker following his insinuation Senator Rick Scott should be ended.
There's about $50 billion estimated that are lost every year in Medicaid, just in fraud alone.
That fraud is not coming from individuals, it's coming from providers. They're not tackling providers. They're not actually going after like false billing. They are trying to cut recipients. If you cared about Medicare fraud or Medicaid fraud, you would Rick Scott. The reason why I'm saying if you cared about Medicare or Medicaid fraud, you would kill Rick Scott is because, and not make him a prominent part of the Republican Party, is because he to this day is still known
I'm
as
lost. I missed something. What the fuck
largest
you got to do with Adin Ross?
fraud in U.S. history.
Now, I didn't hear that or read that and say to myself, oh, wow, he's insinuating that somebody should do this, would do this, or whatever the case may be. I think that he was more so saying that, you know, people could do this. Like, we just seen it happen not too long ago with Luigi. Allegedly, of course. But nonetheless, I do believe that Twitch was still justified in their action. But so after seeing Hassan get banned for something that
he got banned for that.
And then unbanned after a day, it did not sit well with a lot of people.
My God! It got banned for encouraging or glorifying extreme violence. That's Hassan's content that's on your platform that he didn't get in trouble for.
Especially because it's a 1-day suspension. Like, I've never understood those types of suspensions, but
Okay, so I seen
there
that.
were many people that
I did
had
see
stuff to
some shit
say
about that.
Hassan getting unbanned after 1 day, and I agree with all of their sentiments. Adin Ross said he got unbanned after 1 day. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
facts.
sorry, that's crazy. And then other streamers also made their remarks on the situation.
Bro, I can't believe that fucking Dan Clancy wakes up, they unbans Hassan. That's crazy. Imagine the platform not putting their foot on the ground when it comes to violent threats.
Now, I saw Hassan got unbanned. You know who's still not unbanned? Adin. To my knowledge, Adin got banned because of unmoderated chat or some more shit. I personally feel like Adin should be unbanned.
You know, Deshae Frost spent all of 24 hours after his verbal assault on a grocery store on a ban list and then literally was off the next day. So while Twitch does crack down, they don't crack down hard enough. From my perspective and from a lot
They
of
pick and choose,
I
bro.
don't know what a slap on the wrist does in these situations.
They pick and
There's
choose for
definitely a
real.
sliding scale, but you know, at least try to punish it. Yeah, I don't know. So with that being said, this has a bunch of people questioning why Adin Ross is still banned. We know that Twitch doesn't necessarily just go out and ban content creators, and especially keeping them banned for a long period of time. That's why we celebrated a couple of months ago when DJ Academics ultimately got banned from Twitch. See, that time Twitch took actions that were done off platform into consideration when they said whether or not this person will be able to create and monetize their content on our platform. And there's a good theory as to this is why Adin Ross is still not on the platform. It's because
You got
of the
some
stuff
motion,
that
they might
he
unban
does,
you.
know.
Nah, hell nah.
If they don't,
Adin got too much motion.
They
He ain't
will
get
look at
unbanned.
what you do on every
Gideon ain't get unbanned.
activities. I'm talking Facebook. I'm talking
Speed
IG,
ain't get
I'm talking
unbanned.
Snapchat. They will watch what you
Or
do.
Speed
And
probably got
if they
unbanned
like
now.
what you do, they will never unban you, bro. And I know for a fact they've been watching Adin because I can't say too much. But when I was trying to get him unbanned during my break and I was in talks and shit, Adin started doing streams with a particular motherfucker and all talk stopped. I was so mad. I was like, Adin, why the fuck are you streaming with this motherfucker, bro?
But it can't be understated how your behavior and actions.
What that got to do with anything, bro?
You're labeling yourself the poster child.
They controlling who you scream with? Like, come on, bro. That's some weird shit.
Follow you for the rest of your content creation life.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Nigga want to get big on Twitch, but Twitch seems super controlling, bro. Like, I done seen too many motherfuckers get banned for no reason and try to get unbanned. Like, imagine we done build this platform up. We making a good amount of revenue monthly, and they just ban you for no reason. You can't get unbanned. Like, you can't make another Twitch or none of that shit. That shit is over with. This is the thing, though. It's how your community is and what you're doing outside of Twitch, too. That's also true, too. They consider it brand risk. That shit just sounds so controlling because they the only platform that do that. Like, YouTube do not give a fuck. As long as you follow the rules, you don't go past them 3 strikes, they don't give a fuck. So it's like, that shit kind of controlling, bro. Because we done seen some people on Twitch do some crazy shit.
I think coming out of the Kick Fiasco and situation, there's a lot of content creators who can now see that probably wasn't the pathway to go down because they basically put out a credit score or a history or a catalog of content that said why they should or should not be associated with different platforms. It's not like this stuff just disappeared off the internet. People are still going to know who you are. There's a lot of other people that are suffering from the same thing that Adin Ross is potentially suffering from here, is that Kick kind of screwed him.
You never moved to Kick though, would you?
Nah, like Adin don't even want to be there.
Why is everyone not trying to move to Kick though?
Cause I think Kick had it, bro.
Yeah.
What I think they f***ed up is Kick's whole thing was if you come on our platform, freedom of speech, you can say whatever you want, which is good. At first, everyone's like, wow, freedom of speech, I can say whatever. Problem is that then allowed crazy people who are then questionable streamers, they come on his platform, they start doing wild shit. And now I think Kick's looking at it as like, damn, do we start moderating this shit? Or do we just let them go? Because we said we're going to give them freedom of speech to do whatever.
Now, I know this question is going to come up and people are inevitably going to ask it. Do you think Adin Ross has changed? Do you think he can change? Well, that's honestly not.
Hey, Neon banned from Twitch?
The thing is, your audience is a
Or he just
reflection
got
of
an exclusive
you.
Kick
So when
deal.
you go down these specific paths to cater towards a specific group of people, have specific types of conversation. One, that is who you generate to be a part of your community and be your onlookers and bystanders. And two, it is hard to shed yourself of that name, that title, that whatever, et cetera, et cetera. And just because you say that you've changed doesn't mean that you automatically get that grace from people that you not only scorn, but people that have a bad taste in their mouth from consuming.
Yeah, he might be banned. He used to be wilding.
If I put out a catalog of basketball content, it would be very hard, and I would have to be extremely intentional to try to turn my audience into a political content audience or a sneaker content audience. And it would be especially hard if you went out there and started spewing hate speech, nasty rhetoric, stuff that's racist, sexualizing this, that, and the third, homophobia, et cetera, and then tried to pitch to a company or a conglomerate and say, I am not that person anymore. I am okay. And I hope that Adin Ross understands that. And if he does not, he definitely needs to have some phone calls with Sneeko, who is currently going through that situation now.
I think the ultimate challenge for my 20s is going to be shifting away from social media and all the politics that I've got myself involved in to be able to make what I really want to make. I think we've yet to see an artist come directly out of the social media world, and I want to
Sneeko be vibing, bro.
When I was streaming the other
he just
night,
be tripping at the same time.
That art is liberal and
now he woke.
Most of the people that watch my streams only like movies like The Joker, Fight Club, The Matrix.
And I can remember a couple months ago when Sneeko was trying to branch out into other forms of content creation or shed some sorts of names and stigmas, how he was getting called all types of slurs in his chat, all types of racial epithets, just all types of disgusting things. But all I can sit back and say is that's the audience that you've cultivated. People have totally gotten off of you, and they don't have to give you a chance to come back, which leads me back to Adin Ross. See, I think Adin
Sneeko was vibing on YouTube till he got banned.
Content creators, streamers, and a lot of people have him as the GOAT, or at least that GOAT conversation.
Now, my Mount Rushmore would be Rice, Adin, Tfue, and honestly, bro, Golden Boy, bro, probably you.
Adin was my biggest inspiration.
Adin definitely a GOAT.
The reason I started streaming, because I thought streaming was for dorks. And then he did a stream with Lil TJ, and I'm like, hold on, you can do other shit besides just gaming on here.
There's a lot of things that Adin Ross has done that people attribute to being the first or the most successful or being groundbreaking. Bronny, Tory Lanez, having all these other rappers being on there, doing different things first that a lot of people think is commonplace now for streamers is what Adin Ross did in the beginning. But with that ultimately being said, he has also done some things that have not left a good taste in Twitch's mouth. So while I would want to see Adin on these platforms, I personally don't care. I
want to see Adin back on Twitch.
Make your bed, you must lay in it. If you've done your due diligence to hurt these people, scorn these people, go against their rules, etc., etc. I mean, you signed up to play their game. If you're gonna play their game, you can't decide when you want to play a different game or want them to change the rules or nitpick, etc., etc. And even if it appears to be unfair, these are the game makers. So we can call them out all we want to, but at the end of the day, you're talking to Hasbro, you're talking to Milton and Bradley, you're talking to 2K. You're talking to the game.
You gotta start speaking positive. He tried to go on the positive tip, but I think
one of the things that Adin Ross could have did in his transition over to Kick was really make a good effort and emphasis in order to be a better person from its inception and say, hey, you know, we don't have TOS over here, but I'm not gonna take it to the fullest extent. But he did do that. So 3 strikes, you're out. Whatever rule you want.
See, it don't take much for him to just moderate his chat and just weave all that out, like just ban people, kick people out. Everybody who on some racist shit or on some bullshit, just spend some money, get some heavy moderators, and clean up your community, bro. In my opinion on this whole shit, by the way, W video, bro, I always come through with some good W videos, bro. I stay reacting to his videos, but in my opinion, bro, I feel like jail or prison is just rehabilitation. You feel me? Not everybody go to jail and get life sentences. It's a lot of people that go to jail, do 5-10 years, and rehabilitate themselves and be like, I'm not doing that anymore. You feel me? People learn their lesson. So I feel like him being banned forever is pretty crazy. Like, they could give him a second chance. Adin know he's not racist, so why let them people be in your chat? Like, come on, Adin. I mean, I feel like probably when he was at Kick, he had no choice, bro, because they got freedom of speech over there. So he got no control over what he let in. You feel me? He was doing it for the bag, obviously. $50 million plus equity. He was doing it for the bag. You feel me? You can't blame him. He's a kid. He's 23, 24 years old. You can't blame him. Doing it for the bag. But the same way Neon then changed into a whole nother person. I feel like Adin grew up and changed to a whole nother person, bro. People mature. So you feel me? Like, I feel like they should give him another chance. Like, one more chance. Like, hey, buddy, you're skating on thin ice. Anything out of your control, you gotta get that shit together. But Kick's got you got Mars on Kick too. Now I say he doing it for the bag. Yeah, he got racist people in there, but all them views and all that money, that shit add up. He doing it for the bag. Let's be real. He had a gambling problem. He had a drug problem. He had all these problems. He's a kid. He was doing it for the bag, bro. Like, yeah, he could get on Kick, clean it up now, and try to transition it over and let them know, like, hey, y'all, anybody come on Twitch with that stupid shit, he gonna apologize, bro. He gonna apologize, bro. Just kiss the ring, bro. Apologize, bro. Adin Ben had him. He ain't had 50 million, though. He was trying to get to that 100 million. He trying to keep up with Kai. Kai damn near had that 100 million. He probably had like 10, 20 million. Then they gave him a 50 million. You feel me? That's life-changing money to be 23, 24 years old, bro. Kai's probably worth $100 million, bro. Adin trying to keep up with that, bro. He thought he was going to get that $100 million with Kick. That shit ain't like that. But I believe in second chances, bro. I don't believe in third and fourth chances, but I believe in second chances. I think they should give him one more chance, bro. One more chance. Adin definitely was around 50 million. You think so? Adin just got greedy. That's facts too, though. I would say he's a kid, bro. He's a kid. The cost of his career. His career might not never be the same. Being greedy, chasing that bag. Now you can never get that platform. Now you watching Kai do amazing shit. Bro, I'm telling you, damn, I didn't know he was worth that much. I thought he was only worth a few M's. The way he was making it seem. So yeah, he played himself then. He definitely played himself then. That's all on the nigga, boy. All on the nigga.